Today's episode is brought to you by Raycon. Raycon's going to get that good music into your ears affordably. Now let's jump into this podcast. Hello, everybody. It's time for Ghost and Crendor.
Ghost and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Live. In 4-hour recording studio. Recording.
Wake your ass up! It's up next Crendor in the morning!
Hello, everybody. What's up? It's the Cox and Crendor in the morning.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw indeed, my friend. Yeehaw. Welcome to the Wild West, partner.
Yep, we're in the Wild West of this show, actually. This is the Wild West era.
And that we've been doing 1,880 episodes. It feels like we've been around a long time.
What episode is this? Episode 418. Dude, we're almost to 420.
So, oh, damn, dude. Watch out, world.
That's the meme number.
What if we get to episode 4,269? Wait, that's just 4,269. Never mind.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy if we got the 4,269. Wow.
That's too many episodes. That'd be
a lot. Yeah,
it's taken 10 years to get to 400. That would be a lot. If there's 50-some weeks in a year, and we obviously are going to take one or two off, so we'll say 50.
Right.
If there are 50 weeks, that's 50, and we need to hit another 3,500. Like, it's not. Is
that when we're like 70-something?
20 years from now is 1,000 episodes.
Okay, well...
It's never happening.
It's never happening.
I like it. You were optimistic that we could do it in 40, but that would just be 2,418. Yeah. Although 2,420, that's like double the 420, bro.
Okay, what if a rich person started paying us to do this every day?
If we got paid enough, I would do this every day.
Yeah.
Like, I would forego all bonds of fellowship with everything else, and I would do this daily as like a daily morning show.
Yeah.
We'd have to be paid to be compensated for everything else we're not doing.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Oh yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Where's our like princes?
Yeah.
Our oil barons.
Imagine
I'd do it.
There's just like some billionaires like, I love your podcast. I will pay you guys to make sure it comes out every day. It'd be like, perfect.
These are such good well wishes. Like, we really want this. This isn't a joke. I really want some billionaire
really
to be like, guys, you know, me, John M. Zuckerberg.
It's like Mark Zuckerberg's son.
Or cousin. I don't even care.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
anybody.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Mark.
Yeah.
And I'm just a big fan, and I would pay you guys to do $1 million a year to do the show daily. I would immediately do that.
100%. No doubt
I would be like, I don't even know what the hell YouTube is. I'm going, this is me from now on.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't even do it for 800,000.
No, I do it for. I want to be a millionaire,
That's
Crendor.
true.
I don't want to be an 800,000-aire. I want to be a millionaire. And
That's
even
a
then,
good point.
we get taxed to hell, and I wouldn't be a millionaire. But if I did it long enough, I could be a millionaire.
That's true. I mean, after a couple of years, we'd be millionaires.
That's what I'm saying. We'd have to do it.
Yeah. Also, this is this is a fever dream. This is never happening.
Let me have this. That's all I want. Let me have this.
I was on the Chilluminati this week, speaking of podcasts.
It's true, and I heard that people thought it was great and a fever dream, which to me doesn't sound great, but whatever you like, it's good.
Yeah, it was weird because we spent a fourth of it talking about this podcast.
I feel bad because it's very clear Mathis had something he wanted to do, but it isn't what happened on that episode.
Yeah.
No, sir.
No, yeah, I think he wanted to do like this format where he had like a weather and then an actual news story and like a traffic or something like that, and they were all tied in. But we only got the weather.
It took an hour to get through the weather. Yeah,
Which, to be fair, we also take an hour to get through the weather, so it was pretty accurate.
He should have known what he was getting into. Then that's on him. Yeah.
That is on him.
We learned about meat falling from the sky, and that's a pretty fun story.
That was a pretty fun story. I like that one.
Yeah. Where did the meat come from?
I don't know. You'll have to go listen to find out.
There you go. Yep.
But after you listen to this, obviously.
I mean, sure, yeah. Like, you'd be a fool to go listen to other things when we're trying to make $1 million off it.
Exactly.
John M. Zuckerberg, don't leave. We need you.
Yeah, please don't leave. How's your week been? I know you've been playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah. This is all I'll say. I love Final Fantasy VII a lot, but they kind of, I don't know if like you can Yakuza it or whatever,
Right.
but it's so many mini games, and some of them are super fun, and some of them are so obtuse, and it's like very clear that they had an A team and B team of mini game creators. Because some of them you're like, wow, that was so goofy and fun, and then some of them there's one where it's like a mushroom picking thing, and you have to pick it. Oh, yeah, you have to go pick a mushroom. And you would think normally, because the rest of the game, you just press triangle to pick something. No. This one particular moment, you have to walk up to mushrooms and then pre-select how you're going to pull it. And based on that, it will try to pull it up. And you can fail. And it's basically just trying to find the code. You know what I mean? Like, it's either up, down, left, right, that kind of thing. And you just have to find the right order. But the problem is you have a bar down at the bottom, and the more you pull, the more you damage the mushroom. So basically, you have to trial and error your way through pulling this mushroom, and it's like, make sure to get them all perfect. And you're like, well, how is that possible? It's so frustrating, and obviously, it's like, why does this need to exist, bro? Why was this? But you could tell they were having fun, so bless them for having fun, but I didn't think that was fun. So, yeah, it's that kind of stuff. I'm enjoying the story tremendously, but part of me is like, I'm going to do all of this now, so never in my life do I ever have to come back and do this again. When I play through it again, I'll just never touch the mini games ever, right? And they're all side quest associated, so it's like, I did one today that was like, all right, go over and use your chocobo to fly through this thing. And it's straight up the Superman 64 flying through the circle gates thing. Yeah. I hate it. I hate it so much. To the point where when you take off in the beginning, you have to keep holding down the trigger. And I thought it just said to start, press R2. So I pressed R2, held it down, hit this circle, started the event, and I let go and I immediately fell to the ground. And it was like, you lose. I was like, no indication said I had to keep holding R2. Okay, back at it again. It's that kind of thing where there's always little bits of information that are missing for me to truly understand a thing. And I guess I'm just old. I don't know, man. But yeah, other than that, I'm having a great time. But that's not what happened this week. What happened this week, dude, oh my God. So the other night, again, coming home from playing Final Fantasy, it's late. I don't know, it's like 11 something.
Right.
And I'm coming home, and it's Thursday night. And around this area, Thursday is when people be drinking.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm coming home. I mean, it was Friday. Whatever day. I think it was Friday night.
Right.
And still, same thing. Friday, people drink around here. But
yeah.
as I'm driving home, normally I have to turn a left down this road. And there's 2 left-hand turn lanes. So I'm sitting there waiting. There's this big, huge SUV next to me. And we both go to turn, and some dude across from us in what would have been his right turn lane down the same road, he looks at us, sees that we're turning, and then begins to make his turn as well as we're turning in. Except he's not trying to go fast or be like, I'm going to sneak in here and drive really quickly so I can get this. No, he slow man turns into both lanes so that the guy next to me is trying to swerve to avoid him because he doesn't want to get hit. And me, I'm trying to swerve, but we're both trying to prevent ourselves from swerving into each other as this dude takes up both lanes going 5 miles an hour. and so then the guy in the SUV tries to get around him, and he almost curb hops to get around this guy. Meanwhile, I try to drive past him because I don't know if he's just stupid or drunk or I don't know. Yeah. So I don't want to be near him, right? So I tried to go around him on the left. The guy in the SUV tries to go around him on the right, and he's just in the middle, again, of 2 lanes. And so we tried to go around him, and the minute we do that, another car pulls out from a side street and almost hits all 3 of us. And I was just like, what the hell is happening? So I, drive as fast as I can past all 3 of them. And now I'm like, okay, that was crazy. I can't believe that happened. And then in front of me, I see a car on my right? And I have to go in the left-hand lane and get over into a left-hand turn. This dude goes from the far right-hand lane all the way in front to cut me off, slams on his brakes to make the turn. So now I'm like, what the? I almost hit this guy too. I was like, God, no wonder I'm not like out driving at, at 11, 12 o'clock at night on Fridays anymore. Like, you people are crazy.
Was this by that gas station?
It's always by the intersection of doom. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, that's the
always.
first thing I thought of.
Yeah, and so I go to turn left, and I'm behind this guy, so now I'm following him. The dude who cut me off, and here's the thing, though. I can see in his rearview mirror he keeps looking back at me. And because I'm just in a pissy mood because I almost got hit by 3 cars,
Yep, that'll do.
I just glare ahead, just stare at him. And so I think I got him. Again, this happens all the time because, of course, this is where all the assholes live. As we're driving, I go to turn, he goes to turn. We're still on the same side of the road. We're still driving together. He's just in front of me. He pulls into the apartment complex. That's the $6,000 one-bedroom apartment complex.
Oh my God.
And I was like, well, of course this guy lives there. Well, of course, it all makes sense to me now. The most entitled person on the road who thinks he can cross multiple lanes and cut someone off is the person who lives in the $6,000 one-bedroom apartment place. Of course. And so I just like drove past him and I went to go home and I was like, my God, what a mess. And as I'm driving home, it's like 2 blocks, dude. It's not even that far. This guy pulls out with a trailer, except I don't know that he thought what was going on with the trailer. He almost flips his boat in the middle of the road. And
what?
So he had a trailer on the back of his car with a boat on it.
Right.
And he went to go turn down the road, and his turn was so sharp and hard because he was trying to beat me, because I was coming down the road and he's trying to beat me out of the corner so he could like, again, why couldn't he wait? I don't know. And so he goes to turn, and he turns so fast that his boat almost tips over onto my side of the road.
Oh, my God.
And I was just like, I'm going home. I don't even need to be driving today. And I just like got into my house and was like, that was, again, let me just stress to everyone. My office is roughly 10 minutes from my apartment. This was a 10-minute drive. This was the craziest 10 minutes I've ever experienced on the road. Madness.
It's like you're playing Mario Kart.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, God, I got to tell Crendor this because I don't think I got out of my car and like took a deep breath. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I made it home alive.
Yeah, or at least like not cursed by witch magic or some shit.
Craziest. I couldn't believe it. And usually at night there's no one on the road, right? Which is fine. During the day there's way too many people, so at night when no one's on the road it's great. But for some reason, this night was party time. I almost was like, is it St. Patrick's? And not yet, no. So I have no clue what the hell is going on. It was like, dude, it's the 9th. You know what goes down on the 9th. Not 90 beers. Like I don't know. I don't know what the hell was going on.
Maybe it's pre-St. Patrick's, right?
It wasn't raining. It was just a normal night, and everyone was driving like they were gone, just out of their mind, drunk. Like again, a dude swerved in front of 2 cars, took up both lanes. Then the one guy swerved up onto the curb to get around him. Meanwhile, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? It was crazy. And then another car almost hit me. And then a guy almost flipped his boat on me. This is in 10 minutes time.
Yeah, that's like one incident every almost 2 minutes.
It was comic. I was chuckling to myself in the car how comical it was. Because you're right. It was like in a row, like a comedy of errors just kept happening around me. And I was like, I can't even, what the hell is going on? Yeah, it's wild.
But you dodged all of them.
That's because I'm a safe driver, and I'm not like, I'm like, all right, I don't want to be around this guy who's driving like a crazy person. I'm going to get around him. I don't want to be, all right, I'm going to go slow. I'm not going to try and do anything. I'm not going to try to be angry and get around the guy who cut me off. I'm just going to follow him back. Like, I'm not going to do anything insane. I'm just going to not try to die tonight.
There was that one incident. You did run a red light in that Mind Flame video. We were on the car.
That's true. But that's because I was a lot younger and, more importantly, distracted by 2 individuals in my car who were making a bunch of goofs.
That's true. That probably, yeah. That would do
that was 10 years ago. So
that was 10 years.
I think I've aged up.
Yeah. In fact, I think it may have been 11 or 12 years.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been a long time ago.
My
you're
God.
right. It's 2024. That would have been 12 years ago.
Jesus. Jesus. Yeah. Wait, what's that from? Oh, it's Batman. It's the Batman detective that was always like, Jesus. So
you don't even know where your own jokes are from.
Lots of them happen. A lot of times you just take stuff from other people throughout the years. And so I'll like piece together, like, where'd I get this from? Where'd I get that from? But then you turn that into.
How you doing?
My voice giving out there. It's mainly the phlegm. Mm-hmm. And you just kind of morph all the things you've picked up into your personality. But once you establish your personality, then I think it's harder to have that happen because then you kind of morph. It depends, I think. There's a lot.
It's usually from stuff when you're a kid, and it's things that speak to you in ways that you don't know. Like for me, a great example is the game Night Trap. I did not remember until recently, in the last year, that the phrase "why you wear those shades at night" that I always say came from that game. I totally forgot, and I was like, "Oh damn!" And the guy's like, "Why you wear those shades at night?" No.
Oh my God, I had a similar thing with, I think, Donkey Kong 64. There was always some like little ditty in my head, and it'd be like, right? And I'd always think that at random times. And I'd be like, I don't know where that's from. And then I heard it in Donkey Kong when I played it. And Lanky Kong plays his trombone. I was like, that's it. So you gotta, who knows how many things all of us have that we do that we don't even realize where it's from. But then we hear it again and we know.
I mean, for me, that little ditty is always no. That's it every time. Just I'm stuck in Mario, but I'm underground in a cavern made of blocks. Yeah.
At least you know you're stuck in Mario.
Yeah, right?
What was the other thing? I was talking about transformative growth, personality.
Yeah?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I was like, there's like numerous things I got from different people. Like there's some mannerisms I got from like different streamers and YouTube friends I knew and watched. I picked up. There's like certain things I heard from like people on TV or comedians or whatever. I'd like pick it up. So like that's how I like morphed my personality over the years too. And then I slowly realized like, wait, this person does this thing. And then there's people I know and I hear them do things that I used to do. And I'm like, dude, they picked that up from me. So it also, I think it depends on who you're around. It's like if you're around, I don't know, it doesn't even have to be like a content creator thing. It'd be like you're around your grandma all the time and she's always like, well, I'll be. And then you just start being like, well, I'll be. And then you're just like, wait a second. Grandma says that. Right?
Yeah, one of my biggest problems is my dad often says kiddo.
Yeah.
He's like, sure thing, kiddo. And so I say that. And I remember one time I dated a girl who got so mad. And so I remember we got in a fight over that. And she was really upset. And I was like, I don't think you're a child. It's not that I think you're a child, okay? Please don't interpret it that way.
Okay, kiddo. I, this week, have been finally getting over being sick. So that's
Congrats.
been fun.
Thank you. You sound it, right?
Yeah, well, I'm at like the tail. I still got like a tiny bit of phlegm. Sometimes I like cough, sometimes whatever. But like my nose is finally opened and clear. I don't gotta blow my nose every 2 seconds. My cough is calmed down. It's very nice not being sick again. I always say that like if you get sick, it's kind of fun for like a day or two. You know, like initially, if it's like not bad, like if it's like a cold or something where you're just kind of like, blah, you have like a day where you're like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna like play games or watch movies or chill out, and then just be like, yeah, and you're like, nice. But then after a day or two, then you're like, all right, this sucks. I want to go back to normal. You know?
I mean, yeah, I like, but it makes you appreciate when you are normal. You know what I mean? Like when you're sick, you can't really, you feel terrible and you end up, I don't know, you end up appreciating when you're not sick so much more to the point where you're like, I don't want to get sick again. That sucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes you appreciate it more. So, yeah, being sick, it's especially the coughing and the congestion. That was just, bleh, literally. So I got over that. And then there was something. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I've got a crazy story. So, actually, I've got 2 crazy stories.
Go on.
One's very short. One's more drawn out. Here's the short one. We were walking at the mall. They put up their Easter bunny for Easter. So the kids can go see the Easter bunny. But the Easter bunny was like sitting there, and it was like maybe like 2:30 p.m. So it was like nobody there. And he was just like, because like all the kids are in school still. All the like adults are working. This is like a Wednesday, by the way.
Why would he be there on a? That's the mall's fault. That's dumb.
That's what I'm saying. Why is he doing this on a Wednesday? Either way, he was just sitting there. He was like tweaking out. His like legs were like gyrating. He was just like sitting. You could tell he was just bouncing his legs, just like. And then there's like the guy who takes the pictures, and he was just like walking around. And I was like, dude, this Easter bunny is tweaking. You know, like he's going crazy.
Admittedly, if there was an animal that would have restless leg syndrome, it would be a bunny, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Like, that checks out.
Yeah, so maybe it was just role playing.
Yeah, maybe.
It's possible. But then, the next day, I went out to eat with my friend because I was supposed to go out with to eat with him 2 weeks ago, and then I got sick, and I was like, I'm sick. So he's like, all right. So I was like, all right, we can go out today. So we went to one place and we sat at the bar, and we're like, all right, you know, I got a brat, and I got some we got cheese curds. They're pretty good. Had a beer, right? So it was like a good time. But then we got there. I think it was like 7:38. But then after like it was like 9 o'clock, you start getting some crazier people, right? Like the people that aren't eating, they're just drinking. So we get this guy and this girl sit down like 2 seats away from us. So there's like them, then 2 empty seats, then us. Then this old woman and this old man come in, probably like 60s. And they sit down next to us. And I was like, oh, maybe they know each other, but they didn't know each other. And this lady's like, what do you
Why
eat?
would you assume that?
Because they like kind of talked to him for like a second. And I was like, oh, are they saying hello? But then they didn't talk to him. And I was like, okay. So then the lady ordered like a glass of wine. It was like a glass of red wine. And then she ordered what looked like a Coke. But it wasn't a Coke because the bartender was like, oh, you got a Coke? And she's like, well, you know me. What do you think it is? And she was like, haha. And I was like, what did she order?
Wait, maybe it was a Coke and maybe it was like a Pepsi, and she was like, I am Coke, not me. No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know what was in that glass.
What was the glass size?
It was like, you know how diners give you those like really hard plastic cups?
Sure.
It was like that, like a standard soda glass size, or like a water thing. And it had something in it, and I thought it was a Coke, but it wasn't, because she said it wasn't.
Okay, I need you to know that I typed in what looks like Coke but isn't Coke. And the first thing that popped up for me was fish scale cocaine. What you need to know.
Fish? What the hell is fish scale cocaine?
What is I'm looking at it right. A typical cocaine is bought on the street. It's white and slightly off-white powder. I don't know what's happening. I went and now a pop-up of a man trying to talk to me is happening. What is going on? All right, anyway. High-potency cocaine is pearly white in appearance. Because of its iridescent shine, it is called fish scale cocaine. This type is much purer than regular. Oh, damn, you want to get that fish scale.
Want that fish scale.
Fish scale's 90% pure, dude.
So, I guess we learned about fish scale cocaine.
I mean, I thought it was going to be made of fish scales is what I thought, but here we are.
Yeah. So, it looks like, hold on, I found Coke, plastic Coke glass. Okay, it looks like one of these. Hold on. Why can't I link this? Okay, copy image. Here we go. It looks like one of these. All right.
Sure. So,
but without the Coca-Cola on it.
A normal red diner see-through glass.
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah. So she then gets one of those she gets her glass of wine, and then the bartender's just like, oh, you getting a Coke or whatever? And she's like, do you think I'd get that? And then they both laugh, so they know each other. But then she takes her glass of wine and pours it into that drink.
What?
Yeah.
All right. I have a whole other question. Where are you at where they're serving Coke in a red, clear glass, like you're at a diner, yet they're also serving wine?
This is like a local restaurant place.
God, I forget the Midwest is truly insane. All right, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what she had, but she poured her wine into it, which that, like, is a wine douche. That, like, whew. It was like a punch in the gut.
It's crazy is what it is. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Right? So she's doing something. Her husband got like whiskey or some shit. And so I was just like, whatever. So I'm having my brat. I'm drinking my beer. I'm talking to my friend.
Do you think she poured like, do you think it was like Jaeger and wine? Like, I'm obsessed with what this woman was drinking.
I have no idea. It had to be something that was like spiked or like Sprite or water or iced tea.
Was
or
it
like,
a full
I don't know.
cup?
It was full. That's why I was like, that has to be. So, and then she poured her wine into it. Maybe it was like a wine spritzer.
Yeah, maybe she got just wine and then another cup. She's like, bring me another cup of wine. So I can pour my wine into that wine. Like,
she had wine mixed with something in a cup, then she poured her wine into the cup. I have no idea.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Whatever it is, it's a terrible idea, and you shouldn't do it. So then she looked at what I was eating, and she goes, "What is that? Is that some sort of chicken?" And I go, "No, it's a bratwurst." And she goes, "Oh, that's a bratwurst." I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Is that made out of chicken?" And I was like, "No, it's made out of pork." And I was like, "You can have a chicken brat." And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And the guy, her husband's just like, you learn something new every day. So, luckily, they then moved to the complete other side of the bar, which was like 30 feet down.
Wait, what?
I think they wanted to sit next to the bartender they knew, and it was like more open down there. They didn't want to be as like cramped in. So they just went down there. I was like, okay, whatever. But here's the thing. Then these two women come in, all right? And these two women sit down, and they sit in between us and the guy and the girl from before. Now, the guy and the girl there, all right? Let me just paint you a picture. The guy is just kind of like this like dweeby kind of looking guy. He kind of looks like... But he's not like a nerd. He's just kind of
looking guy.
He looks like he loves doing math. But he's still like kind of cool. Like he goes to clubs and stuff. Like he looks like a social dweeb. All right.
I mean, okay, sure, yeah.
I'm just trying to paint I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that.
A picture was painted. I don't know if it's accurate. I don't know what it's. He's a very social dweeb. Like, okay.
Social dweeb. All right. I think that's fine. Social dweeb.
Sure. Yeah. No. Social dweeb.
What happens if I type in social dweeb?
Will we get an image that looks exactly like what you're trying to describe? Because that would be helpful.
Nothing. There are some good pictures that pop up, but nothing. Like we got this one, which is just a bunch of weird dweeby looking people. They're like,
if any of those people that you just sent me showed up and you said they look like they go to clubs, I'd be like, you're out of your mind. There's no way they go to a club.
Maybe somebody a little like this guy.
All right, that guy doesn't go. All right, first off, you know what? Fine, whatever. I'm not gonna even fight it. Yeah, sure. That guy loves clubbing.
I'm not saying clubs. I'm just saying he goes to like social gatherings.
Okay, sure. Yeah, like the chess club. No, I get it.
Like okay, whatever. You're right. He's not even really important in this story. Okay, so he's with this girl. I think it's his friend or somebody, or I don't know. It's either his girlfriend or friend, and she's like the type of person that definitely used to listen to Avril Lavigne, and just like kind of grungy, and just she looked very out of it. Okay, like kind of like whatever.
Sure, it wasn't actually Avril Lavigne.
Yes.
What's she been up to? I'm just asking.
That's true. But this was definitely not her.
Sure.
So she was sitting at the bar with her feet like up on the edge of the bar. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Like she had her shoes on, but she was like kind of like how if you sit in your computer chair and you put your feet like on your keyboard or like next to your keyboard by your desk or something in your chair, like crunched up in a ball.
I don't do that, but I'm aware it happens.
Yeah, there's people who do that. She was doing that at the bar. Okay? So these two girls that just sat down next to her are like, hey, we're going to do shots. And the bartender's like, oh, hey, what's up? So she knows this is a different bartender. She comes over. She's like, all right, yeah. She pours them shots, pushes them over to the girls, and they start talking to each other. They haven't done them yet. The girl whose feet are on the bar reaches over, grabs one of their shots, like trying to do it subtly, and just takes her shot.
What?
Yeah, like she stole the shot.
She just stole
Yeah, she stole it.
And did she get away with it?
Well, after a second, or like a couple seconds, they're talking, they go and they see that the one shot's gone. And then they're just like, what? Like, they're like, wait, what? And then the bartender looks over and they're just like, and then she looks and she's like, and then
Did she try to play it off as like, what happened to it?
Yeah. So then the girl gets up and she's like, I gotta go out there. And she like walked outside. So she like walks outside to the front of the restaurant. And then everybody was like, did she take the shot? And then they're like, yeah, she took the shot. She stole it. And then the guy was just like, oh man, I'm sorry. She's like been drinking already. And like, I think she's just had too much to drink. And then they're like, okay. And then the bartender was like, I mean, all right. So then she gave her another shot. And she's like, all right, here you go. Here's your another shot. The girl then proceeds to come back in from outside. And this like new guy's walking in who looks like he plays Magic the Gathering. And he's just like, and she like walks into him and she's like, excuse me, and like bumps him. And he's just like, what? And she like stumbles her way to the bathroom where she then tries to open the door and falls face first in like face plants into the ground. And like you heard a visible like thunk, and everybody, there was like 20 people there. Everybody looks like, huh? They just see her and they're like, okay. So yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna let you continue. Everyone there seems like a character from a non-real world. Like, I don't know where the hell you're at. This is all going down.
Yeah.
But it seems insane.
Yeah. It gets crazier.
Okay.
So then this girl and this guy, the guy gets up and he's like, oh, gee, goes and like sees her. And then she like walks back outside and they're like, you should probably go after her. And he's like, yeah, I think, yeah, that's probably the best thing. And then he just like pays and leaves. And everybody was just like, what the fuck? And then the one guy's like, yo, I know that girl. She used to work at like Italiano's. And they're like, I think she still works at Italiano or whatever this shit it's called. And then they're like, oh yeah. And they're like, start talking about it. I was like, what? Like I thought I was in like another fever dream. There's been like 3 fever dreams.
Guys, we should all go to Italiano's.
So then these two girls, the ones that got their shots stolen, they order like 3 more shots on top of because they got their one replaced. Then they like did a shot with the bartender.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
You know, that seems like the place you were at.
Yeah. So the bartender apparently one of the girls used to bartend, and so they're like sharing bartender stories like right in front of us. And so the bartender there is like, oh yeah, like at my last job, I was bartending and my husband was there, and then this woman kept yelling at me, and then my husband told her to calm down, and then she threw a beer bottle at my husband, and then I had to like go after her, and then she tried to like hit me, and she hit me in the head, and then I sued the bar. And she won like $5,000 or something. And I was like, what the shit? But then one of the girls who was taking the shots was like, oh yeah, when I bartended in St. Louis, this one guy, we used to serve drinks in mason jars, and one guy took his mason jar, broke it over a guy's head, and then like kept hitting him with with the broken glass.
Damn.
Yeah. So I was like, what the fuck? And so I was just like, this is like free TV. I was like writing this all down.
Sounds like it.
I was just
again. Everything you're telling me, you're just like, so yeah, there I was at this bar, a bunch of drunks are around, but also everyone is a Magic the Gathering player or some random party nerd, or like everything you're telling me is nonsense, and I'm here for it.
It was just the craziest just mix of people. So the one guy, then a song starts playing, and everyone's like, wait, what song is it? It's playing like organ music, and then I guess they like skipped the song right away, and then someone's like, what's this song? And the guy looks like he plays Magic the Gathering, literally like raised his beer and goes, it's Tool. And then
why did you find the most socially awkward bar in the entire history of bars, dude?
It was. I have no idea. There was also just a group of like normal people at the other. I think I was just on the crazy end. That's just what happened. There was also next to us, like on the other side, just like this 60-year-old drunk man that was just sitting there like expressionless drinking his beers. He was also just witnessing it all.
Dude, yeah, I was about to say he was doing the exact same thing you were doing, except he was like, I'm not going to be in it. I just want to watch.
Yeah. He said nothing, just did his thing.
He probably went on his podcast and talked about it. He's like, you'll never believe what happened.
Yeah. And there was like people eating at like normal tables, like not at the bar. And then I know they just like were doing their own thing. They were just, there were these two like women at the one bar. They were like 70, but they were like 3 wines in each. And they were just like, like they had that crazy laugh. The like crazy bird laugh. Yeah. Not like my crazy bird where I'm like, it was more like the. So then my friend, he had like an Anheiser Bush shirt on. I don't know why. He likes beer logos. He drinks a lot of beer.
Okay.
And so the one lady was like, yo, like, do you know about Anheiser Bush? And he was like, nah, I just like the logo and the shirt. And she goes, yeah, well, Anheiser Bush bought me dinner when I was 9.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, wait, like the Anheuser Bush? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, wait, hold on. So I looked up Anheuser Bush, right? And he's I'm pretty sure he was really old. And so I was like, isn't he dead? And she's like, oh, it was like the family. It was one of his family members. And she's like, yeah, I was like 9 years old, and they met him, and they just bought me dinner.
I don't know that I believe that story.
I don't know if I believe it either, which is why I was like, isn't he dead? And then she changed it to like, well, it was one of his family members. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, she did bartend in St. Louis, and it is in St. Louis, so like maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, all right, cool.
Yeah. So then then things like normalized for a while. Then she's like, well, I'm going out for a smoke. And then the girl she was with like grabbed her thing and tried to pull away. And she's like, what the fuck? And then she like yanked it back. And then she goes outside to smoke. And then the girl's just like, I wish she'd quit smoking. And I was like, yeah, smoking is bad. And then after that, they left.
How long were you there for?
It's like 2 hours, hour and a half.
That sounds like the most intolerable. I would be so over it in 20 minutes.
No, I was also like 2 beers in, 2-3 beer. So, two, three beer.
Okay.
I had 2 half pints. So I guess that's like 2 things. It's like 2-3 beer.
That's like 2-3 beer.
Yeah. So, once you're at a point, you're just kind of like, hey, whatever. You're just kind of vibing. It's like glance back at the TV. You're like, hey, look at that. There's basketball. So yeah, that all happened that night. And that was probably one of the crazier times I've eaten there. There's been times I've eaten there. There's like 2 other people there, like nobody, or just chilling. That was actually, there was a lot.
Yeah, man. That sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot went down.
Yeah, there was one other time we were there. There was like a group of college kids that came in, and they all wanted hurricane shots. I don't know if you know what those are.
I think I do. What is a hurricane shot?
That's where you take a shot, and then the bartender throws a glass of water in your face and slaps you.
Yeah, all right, never mind. I did not know what a hurricane shot is.
Yeah,
Good thing I never was like, guys, we should order a hurricane shot.
So yeah, they numerous college kids were just like, yo, do it. They like take the shot, and then the bartender lady would just throw the water in their face and slap them.
Sure.
Yeah. So I didn't get any of those, but you know, that's
I don't even know what to say to this.
Yeah. That was it.
You had a night, is what you had, and it one of the goofiest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, no, that was a nut. In fact, just like it just kept going. Like I was like, oh man, that's one funny thing, and then like it kept going on top of each other. Like if it would have just been the drunk girl stealing a shot and falling over, that would have been a story in itself. But it was like everything just kept stacking. Yeah, that was my week.
Well, you know what would have made your week better?
What?
Having some great music in your ears while you were around. You wouldn't have heard any of that nonsense if you were listening to music with your Raycon earbuds.
Whoa.
If you had your everyday earbuds in, you would have been able to ignore that entire conversation or secretly listened.
True.
Because Raycons offer amazing quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. If you don't believe me, believe their tens of thousands of 5-star reviews. Raycon's optimized gel tips are designed to fit comfortably into your ears and stay there. That's the best part of it for me, is that they actually fit in my ears and they stick there instead of usually when I have earbuds, they kind of just fall out over time. It's nice that they actually stay there, especially when I'm walking around or doing stuff, having them in. And as I said, awareness mode, one of my favorite things on it, is you can have them in. You can be listening to stuff, but also still be listening to everything around you so you can be aware of stuff like you would have been in that bar. You could have been aware, and then they wouldn't have interacted with you at all.
That's true.
I bet that old man in the corner, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, probably was. Raycons
come with me wherever I go. From 8 hours of playtime to 32 hours of battery life. You don't have to worry about whether they're up for the task of wherever the hell you're going. There's 3 customizable sound profiles, earbud tap function, noise isolation. It's all there. It's so simple and very affordable, and probably would have made your night a little bit better. Or at least if I was there, it would have for sure.
Yep.
All you got to do is go to buyraycon.com/Cox today to get 20% off your Raycon order plus free shipping. That's right, you get 20% off and free shipping at buyraycon.com/Cox. buyraycon.com/Cox. Let's go to chapter 7. This guy, the Crendor. Crendor has that traffic out there.
Oh boy, we got traffic. It's gonna be going crazy. It's like spring break starting to happen, right? So watch out for that. Also, we just had daylight savings time. That's pretty annoying. Back to you.
Thanks, Crendor. It is pretty annoying. Although, apparently in Arizona, not a thing. So,
yeah. I wish,
shout out to Arizona, living in a better world than the rest of us.
If only one day we will have it change as well. But today is not that day.
One day. Arizona, you should be fighting for us. Be like, it's better. It's better here.
Do they have the current time, or did they not fall back or whatever?
Because it's mountain time. So basically, they're the same time as me because they don't observe it. But I'm on the West Coast, so they're 1 hour ahead, but Arizona's actually not 1 hour ahead.
Oh, okay. I see.
So in the winter, when we fall back, it'll be 6:22 or whatever, and it'll still be 7:22 there.
I see. So they don't fall back.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's what we need to do. We need to stop falling back.
Completely agree. In fact, I'd be fine if we did away with time zones altogether and everything was one time.
Yes.
And it's just like, look, in New York, you get up at 5 a.m. That's just what it is, or whatever. We could do it on Greenwich Mean Time, or whatever it is. And if that's the case, then I'll be 9, 18, 20 hours behind. I don't give a shit. Like, I go to work at 2 a.m., like, fine. Fine.
Yeah.
Why can't we get on this page?
It's like, yeah, finally the sun's out at 2 a.m.
Yeah, it would be like wacky for a couple months.
Yeah.
But people would figure it out. And
Exactly.
then you could say, like, call me at 2 p.m. and everyone would know what time that was.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you could really just break it down into like everything. It would be like, call me at 2 p.m. Z. And you'd be like, oh, 2 p.m. Z, that's like over in that region.
But
Right?
you don't even have to. You don't even have to say where it is because everyone would know what 2 p.m. was. Because 2 p.m. would be 2 p.m. for everyone.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, this is easy.
So
Gotta
easy.
do
And
that.
yeah, sure, it might be sunny at, 3 a.m.,
Yeah.
but that's because 3 a.m. is your daytime.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if the southern hemisphere can have winter when the northern hemisphere has summer, and somehow it still works, then why can't we figure this out? It might be insane, but at least we'd be insane together.
Exactly. And we're already insane.
Yeah, man. Let's have this world.
Also, I wanted to bring up there are 2 new Nick Cage movies they've added to the.
What are the movies?
One is Arsenal.
What? I don't even know what that is.
It's where Nick Cage looks like he's wearing a fake mustache and a toupee.
2017 film. Never heard of this before, but okay.
Yeah. It's got a 4.0 out of 10.
Amazing. Amazing.
Do you see him in the toupee?
I do see it. I see him in the mustache as well. Looks good.
Yep. So there's
What's
that
crazy
one.
is this, it has John Cusack. The movie has, like, people in it.
Oh, yeah, it does. John Cusack. I think he's the only other person.
I think it has the guy. What was that TV show that was on? Oh my God! It was on HBO for a while. Entourage. It has the Entourage guy in it.
Oh, is that Adrian Grenier?
Yes. That guy.
Okay. I mean, yeah, look at that. So that's on Amazon now.
Whoa! Apparently, Nick Cage is reprising his role from the 1993 film Deadfall.
What?
So this is a character he's played for a long time.
Oh. All right, then. Oh, his collector's got more. And then the other movie was Snake Eyes from 1998.
What is this movie about? This one has Gary Sinise for some reason.
Yeah.
A mystery thriller. A shady police detective finds himself in the middle of a murder conspiracy at an important boxing match in Atlantic City Casino. Oh boy, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, and the preview one I saw was just Nick Cage being like, "Oh, it's time for boxing." He's like screaming.
These sound good. These sound like very watchable films.
Yes. So now we at least got some watchable movies back on.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
That's the traffic.
All right. Let's go to weather.
Weather. I saw the most upvoted weather request was weather request for Cheddar, Somerset, birthplace of cheddar cheese, and home to Cheddar Gorge, where Britain's oldest complete human skeleton was found. And there's a cave called Cox's Cave.
Okay, I like this. I like where we're going.
Yeah. So we go to Cheddar, Somerset. I don't even know where this is. Oh, it's England. Okay. What?
Yes. It's England. No, nothing. Just
What's
I thought you knew that, and the fact that you were like, oh, it's England is very funny to me.
Well, what's Somerset? Is that like another thing for England?
Isn't it like I don't want to say it's a township. It's like a county or something. It's one of those things. It's very, it's close to, as far as I'm aware, it's close to Bristol, question mark?
Ah, okay. Currently in Cheddar, 44 degrees Fahrenheit, feels like 41, humidity 98%, pressure 29.58 inches, 2.5 mile visibility, winds at 6 miles an hour, dew point 44, UV index 0 of 11, and a moon phase of new moon. 6:32 a.m. sunrise, 6:09 p.m. sunset, new moon, 10-day. Tomorrow, Monday, 50 degrees with rain. 50 degrees cloudy. Tuesday, 56 with rain. Wednesday, 57 rain. Thursday, 56 rain. Friday, 57 rain. Saturday, 56 rain. Every day is like mid-50s with rain.
That sounds like the UK.
Yeah, which, I mean, honestly, that sounds great to me. Although I do like a few sunny days mixed in. So, that's...
I'm very impressed that they somehow managed to cram the Dragon's House next to the Spice Cottage. Both not nearly as cool as you would think. The Dragon House, Chinese restaurant. Spice Cottage is Indian restaurant. But I figured it could be, it could be fun, but no.
Yeah, oh yeah, I see it, the Dragon House.
Meanwhile, you got places like the Gorge Bakehouse. By the way, the Gorge Bakehouse is a weird name for a bakery, but I like it a lot. It looks delicious. They got a bunch of delis that look delicious. But more importantly, the Cheese Cottage.
Oh yeah, the Cheese Cottage.
I love the Cheese Cottage. They got just piles of cheese, and the building is yellow, which I'm here for.
That is bad. I guess everything is based off the cheddar, right? 'Cause it's cheddar cheese. It's the cheddar town.
I mean, yeah. There's the Cheese Cottage, Cheddar, the Gorge, Somerset.
Oh yeah, look at that Cheese Cottage.
Get real cheddar cider. What is it? Scrumpy brand cider.
Scrumpy.
Scrumpy. That's what it says. Scrumpy.
Scrumpy.
Also, are you on the Cheese Cottage page?
Yes.
Scroll all the way down. There's a little felt critter with a Santa hat, like a mouse or something. I don't know what the hell this rat guy is, but I love him, and I wish that I had him.
On all the way down.
Yeah, there's like a little. You can tell because he's like a little furry rat guy with big googly eyes.
What? Hold on, I don't see him. I see outside pictures. See.
Well, not all the way, like in the middle.
Well, you just in the middle. Why are you saying all the way
Well,
down?
I figured if you were scrolling, you would have seen the rat guy.
You said scroll all the way down, so I was just power scrolling to the bottom. Okay, hold on.
You can't power scroll. That's too much scrolling.
I see him.
Yeah, I love that guy.
That is a great guy. I would definitely purchase one of those.
Right? He's a little cutie pie.
Yeah. Oh, this looks like
You can also buy rocks there, apparently. Cheddar rocks.
Cheddar rocks.
I don't know why you would buy rocks, but you can buy rocks.
I do
So
like.
that's a thing. Oh, you can also go in Cox's Cave and Crystal Quest.
Well, there it is, Cox's Cave.
I'm here for a place called Cox's Cave where you can go on a Crystal Quest.
I wonder what. Are you trying to find the crystal, or is the crystal empowering your quest?
The crystal's giving you the quest, dude.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
The Crystal Quest. That's a Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy Crystal Quest.
That makes sense. Why it'd be in your cave then?
Right. No, that checks out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of caves here, and there's a. What is this? It looks like an outdoor diner called Rockface.
Rockface.
And then there's the Gorge Cafe, and the Gorge Cafe, of course, looks delicious because all these little cafes in the middle of England are delicious.
Cheddar
And,
Gorge.
then there's the Rock Tea Room.
Rock tea.
I would have loved to have done high tea with you. I'm so disappointed we didn't do that.
That's true. That would have been great.
I think you doing high tea would be a treat.
I probably would love high tea.
That's what I'm saying.
Tucker's.
It would be hilarious.
Tucker's Takeaway Cheddar. Every one of these.
I mean, that seems like that would just be like a fish place, right?
Yeah, it's just fish.
Like a fish and chips. Yeah, I see it now. Definitely. Yeah, anytime I hear takeaway, I always am like, all right, fried. It's fried food.
It is fried, yeah. Lion Rock Tea. Cheddar Holiday Cottage. The Shepherd's Hut. Oh, it's just a hut.
Yeah, this is actually, Cheddar's kind of small. Although, on the map, it looks like there's a giant black hole in the middle of Cheddar, and only now do I realize it's a reservoir, but like, it looked like a hole
It
in
does
the map.
look like
I was
a
like,
hole.
because usually water is a different color, but this was just like, nope, it's a hole in the earth.
Yeah, that's just cheddar hole. I mean, cheese has holes.
Yeah. But not cheddar cheese.
Yeah, no. But cheese. Yo,
Touche.
they got the
You know what?
Bath Arms. Bath Arms Hotel. It's just a fun name.
I mean, there is literally a city right nearby called Bath.
Oh. Maybe that's
I mean,
maybe
like,
it's there.
It's a thing. Yeah. You can go see the Roman ruins, the Roman baths.
Wait, they didn't have the Romans?
Yeah, they did. The Romans were in England.
Oh, were
They built Hadrian's Wall.
Hey, Adrian.
Bath is literally where the Roman baths were.
Oh, well. You learn something new every day.
Great.
That's the weather.
Okay, let's go to sports.
Sports. Oh, boy. We've got ourselves some sports. Also, before sports, I was about to close it, and I saw the Cliffs Public Toilets, and they have a 2.3 out of 5.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to assume a public toilet is not going to get above a 3.
Somebody said the most disgusting toilet, which I've seen this year.
And I see so many bad toilets, dude. Let me tell you, a lot of disgusting toilets.
Someone said absolutely stank when we were there. Clearly not cleaned off.
Yeah, again, it's a public toilet. What do you expect? Of course it's going to stink. It's like, expect pain.
Yeah. In fact, somebody said dirty toilets, 1 urinal blocked, wall tiles covered in small dead flies, and hand washers not working. Disgraceful for a popular destination. This was Julian Cox, by the way.
You know what? He's right, though. I mean, like, something about him.
Do you have a cousin named Julian?
I mean, I do have a cousin. Yes, yeah. My family is from there. Well, they're from Cork County, Ireland, but that's close enough. There's a lot of Coxes in the UK.
Yeah, this could be one of your relatives.
I do wonder if in the UK someone's like, if you post with the last name Cox, you don't get a response from some guy who's like, penis. I'm like, okay, cool. Awesome, dude. Is it a more common name in the UK where people kind of get it?
I would imagine so, yeah.
Or they just still, like, your last name also means dingles, dangle,
I mean, they probably still do that.
Can't we be better than this? Can't we be better than this?
No. Then we have sports. Over in sports, we got NFL free agency about to start. The trades, the free agency is about to be NFL offseason, very fun. We got we got BBB standings in the NBA here. We've got the Boston Celtics, still the best team in the NBA, atop the East, and then the Oklahoma City Thunder, 45-19, the best team in the West, with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets a game behind them. Over in hockey, we've got the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins, top teams over in the East, and in the West, you got the best teams as the Canucks and the Dallas Stars. So that is that, and then spring training starting up in baseball. So baseball is rolling again. So all the sports are going right now.
Yeah, that time of the year where everything's kind of chugging along.
Yeah, and that is sports.
Okay, what is our fact of the day?
Fact of the day.
Got threatening there at the end.
Day. I figured I'd look up some March facts because we're in March now.
Sure, well, of course.
Yeah. March was once considered the first month of the year.
Why did they change that? I guess you'll tell us.
Yes. It says, welcome to the third month of the year, or if you were born before 150 BC, the first. According to the oldest Roman calendars, 1 year was 10 months long, beginning in March, ending in December. May sound crazy, but you can still see traces of this old system in our modern calendar, because December was the 10th month. It was named for the number 10 in Latin, decem. Decem.
Oh. Sure,
Decem.
Well, I mean, deca is like 10. That's the base line.
Okay. Just like September was named for 7.
Sure.
And January and February were the exceptions. They were two nameless months called winter, proving that winter is literally so awful it doesn't deserve a spot on the calendar.
July is Julius Caesar. August is his son, Augustus.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out when this all was, but I guess in the end it doesn't really matter. It's still 12 months.
Yeah. But there's Let's see. What would April be?
April? I don't know. I guess we could look up how did April get its name.
Origin of April. The English word April comes from the Latin aprilis. The name
To open, like flowers in spring.
Ah, okay.
So I guess that's... And then where does May come from?
Yeah. The Roman goddess Maya. Maya? Whoever saw the growth of the plants.
All right. So April is their springing, and May is the plants are like, it's plant time. But then where did March come from? Mars, Roman War.
Mars.
Gotcha. It's the earliest.
Yeah, it says Mars. Well, where did June come from?
It's Jupiter's wife. I don't know what Juno does. I'm not sure what Juno... I don't remember what Juno does, but it's Jupiter's wife, and Jupiter was basically the Zeus of Rome.
It's the Roman goddess Juno.
Yeah, I don't know what Juno does.
And the wife of Jupiter. Okay.
And then July was Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
August was Augustus. September was 7, as you said. October is 8, oct, right?
Yeah.
November, I don't know how. Is November 9?
Meaning it is 9.
Yeah, it means 9. All right, and then
really
December's 10.
Yeah.
They really got lazy there at the end, huh? Like, the first couple months are like, named after a glorious god, or like, and then they were like, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. That works.
Whatever.
That is pretty funny. It's just like our staple months now that we just know is those things, but that's literally their origin. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's your fact of the day.
And just really quickly, Janus is what January is named after, and Janus is the god of beginnings and time and passaging and stuff like that. And February, I got to look this up. February is the Roman festival of purification. Oh, okay, cool. Named after the Roman god February. Who the hell's February? Is the god of purification. Oh, okay, well, there we go. February is that's a weird month.
That is a weird month.
You must be purified. Like, okay. All right.
Which is also the Valentine's month where everyone's banging. So they want to purify you, but then you're banging.
But also, more importantly, still, January through May are like, or actually June, all like gods, everything's cool, and then throw in 2 Roman emperors, and then it's like, and then the rest just numbers. Like, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah. It's
still pretty goofy.
That is pretty goofy.
All right, what's our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day.
Yeah.
This one is pretty goofy. This is fresh off the presses. Man named Deez Nuts arrested in Green Bay, charged with battery.
That can't be his name.
It is. A man in Green Bay with a one-of-a-kind first name was taken into custody after an alleged disturbance on the east side. According to a criminal complaint obtained by Local 5, 42-year-old Deez Nuts Kroll was arrested.
Did he change his... He can't be named Deez Nuts.
He had to have changed his name, right? According to a criminal complaint obtained by the thing, he was arrested following an incident involving a gun. On March 5th, around 10 p.m., officers were sent to the 900 block of East Walnut Street for a reported disturbance. When they got to the scene, 2 people were brought to a squad car and placed in the back. Additionally, they took Kroll into custody, and he was reportedly standing outside with no shirt on. The complaint says that Kroll appeared to be highly intoxicated, but he did follow officers' commands. It was also mentioned that the authorities identified Kroll by his Wisconsin ID card, which said Deez Nuts Lee Kroll.
Did he change his name to that? I just can't fathom it.
I don't know. Maybe he just wrote it in. His name's Lee Kroll, but he just wrote Deez Nuts in front of it.
Sure.
The 2 people who were originally brought to a squad car said they were arguing with Kroll over the phone around 8 p.m. 2 hours later, around 10 p.m., they found the door to the residence was locked. One person said that Kroll opened the door and punched them with a closed fist in the shoulder. This led to an altercation, according to the complaint. At one point, Kroll allegedly got a gun. Authorities later took the gun into evidence, found it was a CO2 BB gun. It was reportedly loaded and had 8 silver 4.5 millimeter BBs. When authorities interviewed Kroll, they claimed that it was apparent he was talking in circles. Throughout the official complaint, Kroll was referred to as Deez Nuts.
I both love and hate this because it is exactly the kind of story I want, but exactly the kind of story that I'm like, but why? But why?
Yeah.
And if I had to answer, it would probably be drugs. You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to say?
It's got to be drugs. Let's see. Hold on. Does anybody have any information? There's got to be something about this guy.
Also, Mr. Beast apparently reacts to man named Deez Nuts getting arrested.
Wait, so you said Mr.
And I
Beast
guess he's mad. Mr. Beast is mad because Deez Nuts is the name of a brand of his chocolate bars or some nonsense.
How can you be mad? That's like a really common thing. Right? Like, that's been a meme for forever.
Yeah. So I think Mr. Beast is just joking, but they said a man named Deez Nuts was arrested, and he said he should change his name before he gets sued. And everyone is taking it out of context or whatever, you know.
I see. Yeah. I got it.
The internet.
The internet.
You know.
But hey, at least we can rest easy knowing that Deez Nuts is off the streets.
Yeah. Well, thank God.
Yeah. Oh, now Neil the Seal can go back out into the streets again. Thank God.
Yeah, he's not going to get harassed by Deez Nuts.
Yeah. That's your big news story of the day.
Great. All right, well, that's it for us. Thanks so much for listening or watching over during this podcast. Crendor, hit him with the socials.
Folks, we got socials. Go to youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast, all one word. You can find all the episodes. Go listen to last week's Neil the Seal episode, learn about him. There's obviously Hank the Tank. There's a whole bunch of wacky, fun characters that you've probably missed out on by not listening to all these.
These wacky, fun characters.
That are real people, not actors or animals. Also, there's the animations. YouTube.com/Cox and Crendor. No podcast at the end of it. You can also find us on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, all your favorite podcast things, except for probably a couple of them. Also, we're on our own things. Patreon Jesse Cox, Patreon Crendor, YouTube Jesse Cox, YouTube Crendor, Twitch Jesse Cox, Twitch Crendor, Twitter Jesse Cox, Twitter Crendor, Facebook Jesse Cox, Facebook Crendor, X, Twitter Jesse Cox, Crendor, Instagram Notorious Cox, Instagram Crendor was taken, TikTok Crendor, TikTok Jesse Cox, TikTok, and yes.
That was, you know what? That might be the best promotion you've done.
Hey, thank you. I'm on my A game.
Yeah. You got it out. Yeah. You're post-cold. You're back.
Yeah, but the cold really revitalized me in ways I'd never thought possible.
Yeah, you now appreciate life a little bit more.
Yeah, and that'll last for a little bit.
All right. Well, that's it. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time. And as always,
shake the rhino.
To be continued.